Hey everyone, Jason here with the Gamer Side. Gonna be doing a series of unboxings all based around the Source system. So I just got back from PAX Unplugged. We had a great con. Phase Shift's booth was fantastic. Got a lot of good traction there, but I'm also a gamer. That's the whole point of this Gamer Side series. And I caught a glimpse of the Source system at their booth. This is Adventure Together. They had a booth there showing off the core system, which is this. This is at least the starter, and several of the games that are based on the Source system. And I got to tell you, I left there more excited about this than any other game that I had seen at PAX Unplugged. So I ended up walking away with a full collection from their booth, and this is just the first. I'm going to go in order. I'm going to start with the starter Frozen Tundra. This is one of the core Source system boxes, and I'll explain that as we go. Then I have the Deluxe Fantasy, I have the TimeStrike game, and then the Source Golf game. So 4 different unboxings that will be in this series, and it's going to start now with the Frozen Tundra. So just really quick, what I understand of this is to get into this, you buy one of the Source systems, one or more, depending on if you want more tiles and more variety, which of course most people do. But you can get just this starter Frozen set, which gives you a bunch of tiles. And now that you have one of these, you can then get any of the games that are based on the Source system, of which there are currently at least 2. I have 2. There may be more, and I know that there are more coming because they had more in their booth. And they will all basically say, this is the game, but it's based on the Source system. You must have a Source system box in order to play the game. So what we are now going to look at is just the base Source system here called Starter Frozen Tundra. And this should not have any rule books in it. This is just tiles and maybe some frame pieces and stuff like that. But we'll take a look and see what all is in here. I have no idea. So this, for those who are familiar with HeroScape, which of course many people are, this is gonna look similar. In fact, I believe the history is HeroScape was of course very popular. This is I'm just dumping it all out now. Okay, HeroScape was very popular back in the day. Then it went silent for many years, and recently it has re-emerged. Who is it? Renegade? It has re-emerged. It is now a product that is purchasable again. New versions, new sets, and all that. Well, these guys, Adventure Together, I think they had released this to Kickstarter kind of just before HeroScape resurged. And it's a little unfortunate for these guys because HeroScape, of course, is a huge name that everyone recognizes, and Renegade's a huge brand that can push that. But I gotta say, what I saw personally just a couple days ago at PAX Unplugged, I think the quality of this is superior. I think the variety of games that can come out based on this system, it's a higher variety, more interesting things are happening. Anyway, I don't want to get ahead of myself. This one's just about what's in this box, but stay tuned for my other unboxings and reviews for the actual games, because I think they're going to be really exciting. All right, I don't know what order to go in, so I'm just going to start with these. It looks like I have 2 edge packs, jagged, and it looks like they're the same. So six-sided modular edges. So this creates a frame, and the reason that you need a frame, and it looks like there's 2 of these, so I can make a small frame or a large frame. The reason you need a frame with this Source system is because, sorry, hold on one second, I'm confused. 6-sided, not 6 pieces. 4 6-sided modular edges. Okay, so there's the 4 pieces. The reason you need this kind of a frame system, boom, there you go, is because the pieces, as you will see, the tiles, they don't interlock the way the HeroScape tiles did. The HeroScape tiles, you had to like slot each one of them into the other tiles, which in one way is cool because it holds together really well. But in another way, it actually makes it a little bit harder to set up the larger terrains. Not that hard, but a little bit harder. You have to make sure everything's interlocked. Well, here, these pieces seamlessly connect, but they do not interlock, and therefore you want this kind of a frame system to force all the tiles to stay contained within a particular frame. So these are cool because these look like you just lay one on top of the other, and you can control what angle you want these at. So again, you can make a smaller frame, a larger frame, whatever you're doing for your battlefield, but that's cool, and they definitely lock in nice and clean there. Okay, so that is frame pieces. Let's move those to the side, and it looks like we have 2 sets of that in here. All right, these are exactly the same, so now I have essentially 8. Oops. What's happening? Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Yeah, so now I have 8 pieces. It looks like I can make a very large frame with these. Oh, another thing that's really cool about these frame pieces is every single one of them has a indentation here to store cubes and dice that you're using during the game. So this entire frame then creates little game trays as well for use during the game, which is awesome. Okay, again, I don't know what order I'm going in. There were a lot of little boxes in the bigger box. So let's go with this 15 hex pack, 4 modular, 15 hex pieces, 60 total hex spaces. Oh, so these are going to be ones that are like larger to create more of your foundation at the base level for your games, whatever games you may be playing. Oh, another thing, I did get a little concerned when I just briefly peeked in the box at PAX Unplugged, and I saw this. There's a sticker sheet. And I said, oh no, wait a minute. I thought these hex pieces, the plastic pieces, were printed. Do I have to sticker every one of them? That's going to be annoying. Nope. I went back and talked to the guys, and they said, oh no, those are just extras. Those are just stickers. You can do whatever you want with them. Or maybe you get some blank tiles at some point and you can sticker them yourself. Or maybe you 3D print stuff. These are just stickers to have stickers, almost for no specific reason. But these, as you can see, are printed. And they are solid. They are gorgeous. This is full color printing. That's another leg up that these guys have over the HeroScape system. HeroScape, it was like 1 or 2 colors at most on 3D raised kind of portions of the texture, whereas here they're very flat tops, so they're not textured the way the HeroScape ones are, but they are printed in full color, and these are, of course, Tundra pieces. And here you can see what I was talking about. They don't, in HeroScape, you have to like take one and rise it above the other and then slot it in, sliding it down and getting all the little grooves locked in correctly. Here, that's it. You just whatever orientation you want, you just kind of butt them up against each other and they are in as needed. Boom. So super fast, super easy. I am all about convenience and super fast and super easy. And of course, once they're in the frames here, then everything is just locked in. There's an example of the frame on the end there. That's great. So super fast and super easy to set these things up. All right, so that's those. By the way, I have no idea how I'm going to decide to store everything. You know, I don't expect I'm going to put everything back in these boxes, but I will have to decide at some point, how am I going to store these? Also, in case it's not obvious, these are also stackable. For those who don't know HeroScape or systems like this, one of the whole points here is that you can create these elaborate 3-dimensional landscapes And you'll see later at some point, I assume I'll have trees and there's going to be bridges and all sorts of fun stuff that creates a real gorgeous three-dimensional arena to play your games on, whatever those games may be. Okay, so that is those. Then we have a little tile pack, 18 probably singles. And the artwork is different. You're going to see they're all themed. Actually, these are supposed to be the ice fields themselves. I think this is ice because I know that because it's half height. If you look at the total height of one of these tiles compared to this tile, it's about half. And that's how water and ice was always done in HeroScape. So they definitely have that same concept here. So these look like they are the ice tiles. Did they even say that? Modular? They just say modular single tile pieces. But whatever the case, you will see different artwork on these various tiles. These are all the ice. The previous one were the tundra. I'm assuming in a moment I'll find a couple other textures or styles of artwork. All right, so there's those. Let's see what this one is. 18 more single pieces. My next unboxing for the Deluxe Fantasy Forest, which is also just tiles, but a lot more. I will go faster. I will not re-explain all of the same stuff. This one here, I'm trying to give you the full background. All right, so this looks like more of the same, more of those ice tiles, the half-height ice tiles that let you create an indented ice plains or ice fields or whatever. And so you can place those amidst your other terrain units. Okay, let's shove all them to the side. What else do we have? 18 single hex pieces. What's on the back? Use single hexes to fill in gaps between multi-hexes. Stack and scale them into mountains, valleys, or dungeons. Use them to support elevated surfaces. The hex is your primary building and utility component. Okay. Also known as have fun building stuff, because that's what this is all about. This is like toy factor to the max. All right. So here, once again, we have new artwork. This is almost like, they look like rocks kind of sticking up out of the ice or out of the tundra. They do seem to match pretty well the tundra tiles from before, but now you can see some kind of rocks protruding, which is really cool. And that is probably what all of these are, it looks to be. Yep. Okay. That's those. All right, I'm already making a mess on the table, but that is arguably part of the fun. Then we have 18 more. What are these? Okay, these are more of the exact same artwork, or at least the same texture artwork as the big tiles, but now you have singles, so you can fill in gaps and do more intricate designs. All right, that's those. 18 more. And these are, ooh, okay, so these are blanks. So here's where you could use the stickers. What do the stickers look like? Well, those we already have. Those we have. The rest of this, maybe some of these I have in the other deluxe box. But some of this maybe is new, and maybe that's a good use of the stickers. But my suspicion is these are here specifically so you can build up. Like, let's say you want to build a pillar that supports an elevated section, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels high. You can just use these that don't have any artwork on it because you're never going to see the inside of these. Then you put something like this on top, and there you go. Now you just have a pillar. So you don't need artwork on everything. So I would consider these basic building blocks. I will shove them over to that side of the table. Then 18 more. They just keep going and going. And this is different. Again, what are these? They look almost like the Tundra with rock, but these look more like a crevice or little caves or just more rocky, but very pretty. I don't think, it doesn't say on there what they were supposed to be. So you use your imagination, guys. All right, that's those. We're getting to the bottom of this first box. There's 2 more, so here's another 18 somethings. These are more of the rocks protruding through. So we opened that box earlier. These are, looks like exactly the same, just more of them. So we'll put them up with the previous ones. And lastly, this one's a bigger box. 24 hex pack, 4 modular, 24 hex pieces. These are going to be your large, even larger than these that we already looked at. Large bases that you can use to form the foundation of your arena, your play field, whatever it is you're building. And I'm assuming they're printed with basic Tundra again. Why so tight? Why so tight? Come on. Maybe I'll push it through from the back side or pull it. Do I have to rip this box? There we go. Whew. Okay, so yes, there you go. And you know, interestingly, this is like, I'm pretty sure it's nearly the exact same shape and size as the HeroScape ones. I think they intentionally mimicked or learned from HeroScape's success, which it was a very successful product. And now it is again. Boom, you can make massive, very quickly create some massive play surfaces. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is everything that was in the starter Frozen Tundra source system. So as you saw, no rules. This is not a game in and of itself. This is terrain to use with. It could be your own role-playing games or your own war games. It could be your replacement for HeroScape terrain if you prefer this. And you have HeroScape characters. You could certainly play HeroScape on these and vice versa. But the real point is that this is enough tiles along with the frames to build a standard size arena and then play one of the games that is based on this source system. Quick preview, here's just the box that happens to be handy at the moment. Source Golf is one of them. Golf, you say, on Tundra? Sure, that sounds like a fun fantasy spin on the game Golf. I look forward to doing exactly that. But there's a much bigger game, TimeStrike, which is even more elaborate. And I can't wait to unbox that and start to dig into that one. So I will end this video here. I am stoked. I mean, I am so gaga over what I see, the quality of it, the beauty of it, the simplicity of it. I cannot wait. I am so excited for this. So stay tuned for more to come from me, Jason, with the Gamer Side. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.